Right, guys, welcome to devlog number 4, week 4. We'll be, as usually, updating you what we've done last week and what we're going to do this week and the week after. So we'll start as the usual. The programmer Ben! Yay!
Done bugger all!
Yay!
No, I haven't worked on it this week because of other projects. So, I mean, merely it's been talking about what you want included now that you've rechanged the first level, I believe it is.
The neighbourhood level.
The neighbourhood level.
Yeah.
So really, it's just a checklist for this week of what to do.
Nice.
Ladders with animations, pushing and pulling objects, floating text. Because I've asked somebody how to make. You know, have you played Deathloop?
I've saw people play it, yeah.
When the text shows up at some places, I wanted it like that.
Is that thing where like you walk over something and it literally just has the text of the thing
Yeah.
you need to get?
So rather than having the objectives appear on the hood, just merely having like them appear in the real world as if like
That's
thoughts of play. So I just asked about how to make that possible.
That'd be cool.
And then also the objective marker for this week, and then if that's all done, move on to the weapon system, NVR. But
Do you want me to find you some ladder animations from
no,
mix?
I believe the moveset pack I found might have a reload animation or
A ladder.
fire animation. Oh, a ladder.
Yeah, ladder thing. So I'm saying just with like movement things, just so you can get them in.
No, I think I have one
Okay.
of my games that uses the ladder already with animation. So
All right.
so we'll just
Cool.
stick with that.
Nice.
But
That's the plan.
that's the plan
Nice.
for next week. James.
James slash Jack.
Last week,
James slash Jack.
Jack slash James.
M16 is now unwrapped, ready
Woo!
to texture.
Looks nice.
That's going good. It is. Uzi had an issue.
Oh God.
The unwrap was completely gone on it, so I had to re-unwrap it all.
Do you know why the unwrap was gone?
I don't know whether it was because the foil didn't say what I just
That's probably it.
So I exported it and it was unwrapped. So unwrapped it all. Got a high poly one. Beat it up a bit in a ZBrush. So it's looking good now.
Did you add what sort of just like scratches and stuff?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then the bake on it was horrendous, so that took a lot of time to do.
What was wrong with it?
It just wouldn't bake, it was like as if it was baking from like a weird angle, like you could see like the lines of like the buttons and everything on the gun, and that was messing up with it. But I think it's alright now.
That's good. So you got that all sorted?
Yeah, I just need
Nice
to
and nice.
texture it this week and the M16.
Ooh,
It should be good to go.
that'd be fun. So once you texture it, it's going straight to our boy Ben. Slap it in.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
When would you want the gun though?
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever, mate.
Whenever, mate.
When's that?
Whenever you need me.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Are you gonna program it?
How are you going to program? Good question there. Good question
How
there.
you gonna program it?
Not gonna reveal that.
Secrets,
Secrets.
Jack. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so-
Only for the code. Yeah.
Only
Not
for the
you.
code. And for the Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I'm doing my usual, working on the head. I've now done the outline for the hands, so it's just detail for the hands now. Rest is just the usual. Head, neck, chest. Then working on clothes.
Oh.
But again, I'm just putting as much detail as I can in. So
Yeah.
it's taking a bit of time. It's about it, the usual. Now for the big change.
So,
Logan Jackson.
if you watched the last episode, which you better have, you'd have noticed that we right at the end we had a few changes to the second level. Now, you would have saw that my brain literally exploded.
Oh, was this when the reveal?
Yeah. And I was just like, what? So basically, the changes that we discussed have all been in place now. So the way the next level is basically loosely based in New York. So all the buildings look
New Yorkie.
really, yeah. And what we'll do, we'll actually put a little bit of a video in now, just showing you what the level will look like. And I feel like it's a massive improvement from what we had before. It will be inspired from games such as The Last of Us, that kind of setting where things are overgrown. There's like big tall buildings everywhere. And the level design will be very similar, so you'll climb up to a high point and it will show you exactly where your destination is. And that'll be like using the inspect feature as well. So yeah, I've just been working on that. It's pretty much done now. Just need the final assets in, and then we can wrap that map up. Kieran, I need you just to finish off the house map, if that's okay. And then Ellis is starting on the neighbourhood one, and then
have you set up all the POIs and stuff like the points of interest?
yeah.
And stuff?
So I've set all that up,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna start working on the factory map, and then because it's going to be a bit weird if we go into the factory and then you go into like the other place which we're thinking of. So what we might need is
Aren't we only doing 2 levels for the start?
so I'm just going to keep creating levels,
Okay.
and just then like they're just ready to go. But yeah, for the most part there'll be 2 levels.
So you could always just extend the one we've got right now, so we can use the same assets, so it doesn't spend, so it's less time for these guys to work on stuff while they're doing stuff. So you can spend more time perfecting like how long you want things, like challenges and stuff like that,
Well,
where you're going to put the enemies and
Just
stuff.
perfecting the
Then
scene.
the next one will be the factory map anyway, because you actually have to go in there. So yeah.
That's what I mean. If we for our vertical slice to show the game off, we're only doing 2 levels. There's no point really blocking out another level now. That might be that should be the last thing. For
we'll
now.
probably still end up blocking it out because I'll have nothing else to do then. Like literally the
That's what I mean.
neighbourhood map's done.
That's what I mean. You can spend more time working on there, but make it longer.
Well, I
things
can't
like that.
I can't do anything until I get assets anyway.
That's fine. But yeah.
Yeah.
Once the
Alright.
assets are in, I'm just saying it might be a good idea to just extend that longer. So then, because if we're not going to do the factory map, there's no point blocking it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it will just.
No, but the thing is, we probably will end up doing it because the way the schedule is at the moment, like you can easily do it. Right, yeah.
Alright, well, I've unwrapped all those models for you.
Yeah.
And now it's just setting up the material IDs for the wardrobe and the door. So then they're in the same like UV map, and I'll just get all that textured and get all the other models done ASAP.
Okay.
Right.
Are you starting to texture now then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just doing the wardrobe and the door first.
Are all the models done for the house?
No.
As I say, I would recommend doing all the models first, then texturing. So then you're not constantly going modelling, texturing. If you do that room to the next room, so then you can model it all in one. Unwrapping's fine because that's in the same thing, but because then in substance, especially if you want to use the texture, you can slap every model in it, texture, boom, done, straight off, send to him to put the texture in. Because when you've modelled it, you can send him the models, and then he can put it in, because then he knows exactly where they're going to go. Then he can just slap the texture in later.
Yeah.
It hasn't got to be put in as a textured object right away, so that might be a better idea for you.
There are a couple of things that I need I need in the future as well, like pretty close. Is the cabinets.
Yeah.
I need those like
Asp.
soon. Yeah, like as soon as possible.
And the cabinet models are done, aren't they? Sorry, unwrap maybe.
You haven't done cabinets yet, have you?
Have you not? Sorry, I'm thinking of the wardrobe.
Because the bedroom, for what you've done so far, it should be fine. We could do like a rug or something for the floor. We need light fixtures as well, so there's a lot still to model. We'll go over that in a bit if you want.
Yeah.
Alright.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Speak up a little bit, El. There you go.
Logan made a new map, and then showed it to me, and I worked off that. He showed me a lot of reference images that he really wanted, so I decided to go ahead and model all those buildings, but then put the video in the background for you to.
He loves doing that. You love doing that, Ben. I love that just give you stuff to do halfway through. don't discuss it at all. Yeah, just put a video in.
Yeah, it's easy for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I made a lot of modular assets, loads of like buildings that can work together because they all work with like even numbers, like 200 width house, 400 width house, 600, 1200, whatever. It's always an even number, so regardless how much you move it, it'll always sort of snap to a 10 centimeter grid. Same goes for the. Same goes with moving it up and down as well. I made it so
Is it still on?
you can feel like.
Yeah. Sorry.
I made it so you can customize the buildings as much as you want, mix the pieces if you want, do whatever it is that you want. But if they mix with the trim sheet. I made the pavements, the sidewalks. I made the big concrete blockades.
Oh, yeah.
So, like
Yeah,
the big
yeah, yeah.
walls.
Oh, yeah.
So I think overall, I think I made 5 or 6 modular buildings.
And they look raw bussing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you done roofs for them yet?
Hmm?
Have you done roofs for them yet?
They
Have you
all
just done...
have roofs. They all have like a lip on the top.
Because
Got it. So there's not like a platform up top.
Yeah, because like,
Got
if you
it.
look at the reference images, they don't usually have a lot of roofs. There's some of them do, which I don't mind modelling in the future.
Oh no,
Well,
I mean like
roofs
platforms
and-
is what I mean. Like
Oh,
are those
oh.
flat platforms there?
I don't know, they're just a simple.
But
Yeah.
remember how the level looks as well. Don't listen to this because it's going to spoil it. Shh. But there's no roofs in the background buildings, so you don't need to worry about that. So
Obviously, there'll be a roof.
Yeah.
yeah, I need about one of the buildings two of the buildings definitely need a roof.
That's
The
fine.
others don't really need them.
That's
Alright.
Well, you can reuse those roofs anyways because a lot of them will be the same size.
Yeah.
So-
So if you do like a 400 by 400 square,
Yeah.
One roof to rule them all.
it'll be fine. Yeah.
Another thing I decided to start making was.
What was it?
Ugh.
What was it? Al? Come on, get your brain
So
chugging.
the road is going to be a landscape, and it's going to be texture that you paint onto it.
Okay.
In the centre of the road, there's going to be the lines, the road
Mhm.
lines.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to be decals.
Yeah,
Nice.
So and you can place the pavements along those, obviously. So it's not just one big model that has loads of different polygons and angles.
Yeah.
Do I need? I think I already have the landmass plugin set up in the thing, so you can use the material IDs for the landscape.
Yeah, if you need help making the landscape material, sorry. You can
Is that what-
give me a shout.
Do you want me to work on making tarmac then? Because I can use Substance Designer and get tarmac texture in there.
It's either
Or
one.
do you want to do that?
I can make them. You can make them.
I don't mind. We'll sort it out in a bit, alright? Just 'cause I know that you got a lot of workload on you. You got a heavy workload on you at the moment, doing a lot of stuff.
There's another thing I was going to mention as well. So a lot of the buildings that are made, a lot of them do have entrances, but a lot of them also don't. The flat iron building I showed you in the video, that really like modular one where you can snap multiple pieces together. That only has like one entrance.
Mhm.
I'd like to make another one.
I mean, if it's like an apartment building, you'd only have one entrance, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like some of the apartment buildings don't have entrances at all.
Oh, that might be an
Okay.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to work on that.
Yeah.
But it's just like a simple like copy and paste of the models.
Would you be able to give me them today?
The models.
if you really want them? Yeah.
Because if you're not unwrapping them, then I can put them in now, and then all I need to do then is just re-import them once you've unwrapped them properly.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
Yeah, I can do
And
that.
that means I have a lot to do today then, and then that means we can delay the factory map as much as possible, because the thing I don't want to do is just be sitting around not doing anything.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine. I can send you them today.
alright.
So in the future, I'm going to be working on the interior buildings. So the buildings that have like broken into, that big building. That
Yeah, the
collapsed in on
skyscraper
itself.
one.
Yeah, so I'm going to be working on that in the near future, only because it has an interior, which is a special model, because you have a model from the outside as well as in.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like all modelled and like polished up, and then after that I'll move on to trim sheets, which is the last stage, which probably take the same amount of time it takes to model them, because if I'm using trim sheets and tiling materials, I'm not having to make as many materials as I would need trim sheets, because I can just make a trim sheet and lay it all out.
I mean, do you know that course we mentioned how they do their windows and that?
yeah,
So they use two materials on each model. So
yeah.
it's a basic brick one, and then the glass and the frames that is all another one on a trim sheet.
Yeah, I saw a similar video to that.
Yeah,
where it's just like it's a tiling material on the actual wall of the building.
Yeah, but
Everything else is like
everything's trim sheet.
trim
Yeah.
I was thinking that exact same thing. I was going to bring it up to you, but I didn't know if you was going to be okay with it.
Yeah, it'll be
Because
fine.
it's like you can kind of mix and match like materials of like buildings, like
I mean,
a full flat concrete or but
it's a bit about merging it, because do you know what? So if you dedicate a large portion of the trim sheet to a tiny material,
yeah.
no, because you won't be able to. Yeah, you won't be able to. I was thinking you could basically make a basic tile material
Yeah.
using the trim sheet, but you need to obviously make it bigger or smaller, scale it to the model, wouldn't you? So that one.
That's another issue.
All right.
Of course, yeah, obviously, yeah, of course you do that. Yeah.
One of the issues that I'll probably face in the future is making a brick tiling material for a house on a trim sheet.
Yeah.
Having that scaling it properly.
It's gonna be a bit yeah.
Yeah, and the way that like you would have to make that and then integrate it into substance painter without it clipping off like randomly, it's awkward. But it's not too bad, but it's fairly easy.
All right. Well, if we can get them models today, then I can start working on making.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool beans.
I
You-
wanted to talk about it more.
Jesus Christ. Alright, only talked for about an hour.
He's been
Pop off.
He's been grafting this week, yes.
Alright.
Man's been on his grind. We'll see. So the trim sheets are going to be made a little bit differently to how I made them before. Instead of them all being kind of like random and like special in their own way, they're all going to be similar layouts. So you can slap on a different trim sheet on another house that will still make sense. So if you can imagine a multiple trim sheets, and the trim sheets have like the same like columns with just different textures.
Yeah. That would work really well.
And if you just slap them onto like a model, no matter what, they'll always obey that like.
That would work really well.
That column. So you just save up like memory and stuff.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is. One thing I do want to do today as well is delete some of the stuff in the project, just so we can get the file size down a bit. Nothing for you, mate. So don't worry. But yeah, just literally like scale down the file size at the moment because it's getting a bit big at the moment.
Last question I want to ask both of you two. The house map, does that make sense with the model it's going to be?
Yeah, it's all good.
Does all the windows line up?
Yeah,
Does
it's all good. It's all good.
So as in when you leave the building, will it make sense?
Yeah, definitely. No, just scaled it down, didn't I? So.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Is the player leaving out of a door onto a fire exit? Did I get that right?
I don't think so.
No,
He's just leaving
they have to climb up a fire exit
At
to
some
get
point.
to the
Oh,
point
okay.
of
So I
entry.
saw you walking out the door onto a fire exit, climb all the way down.
No. But yeah, the house map does make sense.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Because I don't need to leave and go, it's like a tiny apartment.
Yeah, can't wait to get started then.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Follow the Instagram.
Yes,
Link
please
in the
do.
description.
It is raw good.
Yeah, and like the video.
Don't dislike.
Don't dislike, because
Sag.